Hello everyone, I am your host, Master Walrus 9, back with another episode of Walrus's TCG Dailies. Here, we're going to be playing some Pokemon TCG Live, hopefully winning some matches, climbing up the rank ladder, and I want to showcase a new deck. First and foremost, what I want to do is take a look at what are our missions for today. Play an item, play 3 items, both super easy. Looking forward to that. I want to showcase the deck. I'm doing a little 3-piece series. I did Lugia Single Strike. I did Lugia Rapid Strike. This is to utilize the Lugia Vstar engine in order to work with the special energies. Now, I'm doing 1/3 deck, which is called Lugia as Intended. This is going to be a Lugia deck that utilizes normal Pokemon as its hitters. So let's take a look what I have. I have the same pretty much Lugia core in V-Star, Archeops. I think that's alright. We got Drapion V just from UV Max to wreck house with that. So let's take a look at what I added. I added Oranguru V. So this is not crazy, but he has 30 damage and it does 50 more for each damage, 50 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Where a lot of your opponent's active Pokemon are gonna have a minimum of 3 energy attached. That's pretty good damage. That's going to be a 180. And while that's not taking games, that could finish them up. Next, we got Snorlax, and Slaking V. Now, my premise with these is that they all have effects that make them go to sleep, which is a pretty harrowing effect. However, they have pretty good damage. They cost a lot of energy for good damage and makes them go to sleep. So, this brings up the aspect of the Therapeutic energy. This is a special energy that makes it so the active Pokemon is no longer asleep, confused, or paralyzed and cannot be affected by those conditions. That means that the combo works fairly well. If I get the energies out on Slaking, he's doing 240 with no downside. Same thing with Snorlax, same thing with this Snorlax. I'm running these 2 Snorlaxes as a variation. I mean, you could really pick out whatever you want. This one has 180 damage, which is nice. This one has 150, but if it's in the active slot, the opponent can't retreat. That could shut down a lot of decks, which is nice. Finally, finishing up, we have Wordeer V. This one does 40 for each energy attached to this Pokemon. And where you have a minimum of 3 energy attached, that's going to be 120. Now, the nice thing about this is that if you move it up from your bench to the active slot, you're going to be able to move any amount of energy you want from your other Pokemon to it. What this means is that if you have a Lugia Vstar who you got to kill with, but he's at super high damage, let's say 240. You don't want him in your active slot, you want to maximize the energies attached. While you'll move your Weirder up, you'll be able to get the energies attached for it. Let's say it's 2 DTE, right? So that's 4 energies. You can attach an energy from hand during your turn, and you can Archeops out additional energy. Now, taking a look at what's going on, let's say you have 4 DTE, and another energy, right? Let's use this as a baseline. So the 4 DTE is going to give you 60 damage per DTE. So you're looking at a 240, and the 5th one's a 280. That's going to be enough to kill a lot of Stage 2 EX. You get another energy out, you're looking at killing a 320. So ultimately, I like the Weirder. We're running just a bulk of special energies. V-Guard for protection, Therapeutic for that heal, Turbo, DTE for that, whatever. Gift and Lucky Energy are 2 apiece for some draw potential. Jet Energy is kind of a filler. I mean, I can use it for whatever, but ultimately the entire end goal is going to be using it as a switch if needed. And we're just running some basic ass trainers. I mean, we got our discard means. Serena, Professor's Research, Ultra Ball. We got Shufflers, Drawers. Grant is something I added in order to propose the aspect of discarding. So let's say I have a Ultra Ball and a Grant and some other card, and I need the Archeops in my trash. What I can do is Ultra Ball away to Grant and some other card, pull up the Archeops, trash the Archeops and another card with the Grant. And so the Grant's back in my hand, and the Grant's a dead card. But I have gotten rid of that Archeops. So I think it's an alright consideration. We're not running any stadiums because I couldn't really think of anything that's too crazy for this. And the only drawback I don't like is the slaking is a nice hitter, but he has a stage 2 requirement. So that means that one of the targets with our Lugia Vstar is going to have to be Archeops V, and one of our targets is going to have to be Slaking V if we want this engine going around. Now, I built the deck with the consideration that he's super nice if we get him, but if we don't, we don't. So, overall, that's what I'm calling Lugia as intended. This is a deck that's supposed to play Lugia with the special energies affecting normal Pokemon. Being normal, or actual flying. So we're playing against a dark deck, free 10. I'm thinking this is a person with a little bit of experience. It's probably a Roaring Moon EX. Now, I don't think he has enough in his library to customize as much. So I think we're just going against a generic Roaring Moon EX, which is very manageable. Opponent's going to go first. Wolf Mortem. Yeah, they're going to go first. I really can't complain. I mean, this opening hand is a little bit doo-doo feces with the Drapion V. But we can manage. The Drapion for V is not a bad attacker. 190, you know, doesn't sound like it, but it's good damage, ultimately. Yeah, so it looks to be a Roaring Moon. Not sure on customizations just yet. Earthen Vessel, an energy for 2, so that's a net positive. Net neutral, technically. He's got a Radiant Greninja to go net positive 1. But he's getting that energy in the trash. So he's got the Roaring Moon EX out. Earthen Vessel. Yeah. He's got more energies. Customize his energy a little bit. Jet Energy to move it up, which is honestly the wrong move. Dark Patch only works on the bench. He can't get Sada out. So, he's going for Ultra Ball. I'm not sure on what he wants to do here. If he's running a base deck, he's probably going to target out Brute Bonnet, set up the energy capsule, and get poison damage going, I guess. No, he goes for Mew EX, so this deck is customized. I'm not a big fan of him trashing that research. He goes for Pokestop. We got means of managing Pokestop. Restart to draw 1. I guess that's the right play at that point. He gets a Dark Patch and an Ultra Ball. He trashes the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. Ultra Balls works, but Dark Patch is not good in this situation. He'd have to get like a Roaring Moon on the bench. He switches. He goes for the Roaring Moon. He's get a Dark Patch. Yeah, that makes sense. This Mew has no retreat cost, which is nice, but being 180 HP doesn't make it a little scary in this situation. Now, he has to have a Sada's Vitality in his hand to justify this play. So, ultimately, our best move is going to be to Yono. We got Supporter Heavy in our opener. Not crazy. Yes, we're giving him more cards, but we really need to manage what's going on. We'll Tool Jammer, I guess. We're going to Pokestop and to pull something. So, that's a hit on the Archeops, which is nice. The Lugia, not so much. I don't know what to do, honestly. We're not playing against Vs. I think I want a Jet Energy here. We're just going to end turn. Now, the problem is he's got game. If he gets the 1 Dark Energy, which he has at this point, he's got game. Because he's going to be able to insta-kill me. And it's unfortunate, but that's the way the money goes. So Bidoof, he has the Earthen Vessel. I'm just going to concede right here. Because he's going to win by no Pokemon on my bench. So, I mean, that's unfortunate. We kind of bricked hard with our openers. But it happens sometimes. You know, that's the game. If you have a probability to pull a card, you have a probability to not pull a card. You know? And so, that's what keeps the decks in the game varied. It brings up the statistical point of how many cards do you include in your deck, you know? If you need it a lot, like, yeah, run 4. Something where it's specific. Like, the Drapion V is a 1 of. To be in my opening hand is statistically low. It's... yeah, I don't want to go for the statistics of it right now, but the odds of pulling a 1 of in your deck is not the greatest. Now, we got Pokemon Go Snorlax and some good openers. We're going to run Block with a Snorlax. I mean, we kind of have to. He's playing Venonat, which is actually interesting. So that means he's probably going for Venomoth. And I don't think there's an EX version. What we're going to do is... shoot. We're going to trash a second Ultra Ball. We're going to get the Lugia V on our bench. Just to make sure we have that set up. We're going to Yono. Ultimately, this is alright. We're going to Tool Jammer, DTE, set up a second Snorlax, and turn. Let's see what he does. I don't know if the Yono helped or hurt. I do like those sleeves. That's probably from the new deluxe box or whatever. Sets up the Bidoof, Torterra, and an Ultra Ball with the Ultra Ball. Now, this Ultra Ball is from Black and White era. I think this is Black and White base. I really like the design. I mean, full arts look really nice, but there's something super simplistic about it that looks good. So he does go for Venomoth. We got a pretty good hand right here. The only thing we're really missing is... okay. Sorry, but the only thing we're really missing is that Lugia V. So what do you do? Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. During your opponent's next turn, they can't play any items from their hand. So this is unfortunate. We are in a rough state. What we're going to do is we're going to add Therapeutic Energy, which is going to heal it, but we're still not going to be able to play items. We're going to Serena, Grant, Slaking, Archeops. We don't need Grant at this point, so we're fairly good. We're just going to end turn. Ultimately, what we need is the Lugia Vstar now to get the deck finished up. But, again, if he keeps playing Perplexing Powder, then we're in a pesky situation. So he's getting more Turtwig out. He goes to Grottle. Grottle is the right choice. You're going to be able to search out your grassers a lot easier. I want to see what he goes for. I would personally pick up another Venonat. No, he goes for Turtwig. So, I think Venonat, Venomoth is a stall option for opener, but I don't know how well that's going to work in the ultimate game. Reversal Energy on the Grottle. So, that's going to be hitting hard. For anyone who didn't see the Toadscroll EX deck, that uses the Torterra, but it does 50 damage for each evolution Pokemon. Where you're going to have upwards of 6 evolution Pokemon, you're going to be hitting 60, so... yeah. So, I don't want to give him the cards in hand, but we're just going to Yono. Increase our chances of pulling. Not there. Unfortunate. I'm willing to sack the Snorlax, ultimately. Yeah, we're just going to collapse with Snorlax to knock it out again. Because of Therapeutic Energy, we're not going to go to sleep. We pull Lugia V. Lugia V is alright in this situation. We're going to... set up a pretty decent offensive attacker. So he goes for Ultra Ball. I'm just curious on what he's going to get. Personally, his best bet is to, like, Groddle into... Like, use this Groddle to pick up another Groddle to pick up another Groddle. And then you pick up whatever you want as your actual grass hit. Okay, so Swelling Flash. I've never seen that one before. So he did have a Groddle in hand. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon's in your hand, you have more prize cards, you may put this onto your bench. It's a 180 that does 20 damage to itself, but it requires an electric energy. So I'm curious on that aspect. Is he banking on going off of reversal energy? So he researches Gold Escape Rope. Nice play. I don't think the Luxray is a terrible option. It's good for deck diversity, but I don't think it's working crazy well with it either. Okay, goes for B-Barrel. Solid play. Okay, Ultra Ball, probably trashing Drapion V and the Archeops in order to Lugia Vstar, get our Pokemon onto the bench. We'll Jet Energy up, and we'll run a Therapeutic and some sort of, like, I don't know, Gift Energy on whatever his name is. We'll just knock out the Torterra. We're not... Like, the problem is the Luxray does become a bit of the issue with the Lugia V. Yeah, let's set up the Snorlax. Okay, yeah. We're gonna Ultra Ball, we'll drop Archeops and Drapion V. I could... Oh, shoot. We're gonna drop Lugia V. I could work with the Drapion V. We're gonna pick up with the Lugia. We're gonna... I want to bench the Drapion. We're gonna Summoning Star. Pick up the Slaking, Archeops. Double Archeops would have been nice. That might have been where I wanted to go with this, but ultimately, I think the Slaking's gonna be the right play. Primal Turbo. We're gonna Therapeutic. And... I don't know. I mean, we could work with, we could dump a Jet Energy. And we're gonna just, use the Jet Energy to move up. And we're gonna do a nice strike for 240. And of course, the gimmick, the drawback would be that the Slaking would now be asleep. And you'd have to flip 2 coins, so now you have to switch them out, or you use Therapeutic Energy to cheat it out. Boss's Order is not bad. So he sends out another Venonat, which is an interesting play, because I think he's not confident that he has the setup. No, he has the switch. He's got the Energy Reversal. I'm sure he's got Boss's Orders. Does he pull up Archeops? No, he pulls up the Lugia Vstar, which is ultimately the good play, in my opinion. He pulls up the Venomoth. I'm a bit... I don't know where I want to hit next. I don't know if I'm more worried about a Torterra or this Luxray. Yeah, see, he goes Torterra, and I'm a bit more concerned about it. So I think I'm going to take out that Torterra, since he won't have the energies to manage it. Lugia Vstar going down isn't great, but he's also not going to be able to use Reversal Energy, because he's going to go to free, so he's going to have less than me. Next turn, I get a kill. I'm going to go to free. He's tied. He doesn't have the Reversal Energy still. We're going to Boss's Orders, hit up the Torterra, and I don't know. I guess we'll drop a V-Guard on Drapion. We'll put, like, I don't know. Let's do a Lucky and a Gift. It's not crazy at this point. We're just trying to maximize the damage. And we're just going to Slacker's Head Strike. Take him out. So now we're tied. And now he's in a tricky situation. So we're going to go free. Therapeutic energy, so that works out well. I don't know what he's going to bring up. If I was personally him, I would bring up the Venomoth to draw out a turn. I'm not going to be able to use items. I have Therapeutic, so I'm going to heal up from the confusion. Runs Nest Ball. Nothing hit. He didn't really look at his deck either in regards to that. So he sets up another Grass Energy. If I get another boss's orders, I'm bringing up that Grottle. We want to shut this down. Okay, he Onos. So that actually works out really well. I want these energies in my deck, not in my hand. Serena doesn't work as well. If they're running a V, then it's a boss's orders on that V, which is super nice. But they're not running any Vs. So he's out of grass Pokemon, so what he needs to do, he's in a tricky spot. Elekid. Oh, shoot. We're gonna Primal Turbo. We're gonna set up a singular V-Guard onto the Drapion V. And this seems almost like a wasted turn. But I can manage this Snorlax for the next strike. We don't really need any bench ping, it's looking like. So I don't think the Elekid's gonna matter as much. The Elekid's more there for Roaring Moon. So we're just gonna do this. I want to take a look at what's remaining in my prize cards. We got a Yono, we got a Slaking, we got a Switch. Honestly, the Switch would be a good hit, if I'm being honest in this situation. We're going to drop a Therapeutic onto the Snorlax. And we got boss's orders for next turn. So we're just going to hit with Slacker Strike. And so our Slaking's probably going to be down. But we're going to be able to manage. Now, if I'm him, I move up to Luxray, get the kill. And he'll be able to send off another turn for the Torterra. But I have my Torterra. Okay, he pulls up another Luxray, so this isn't good. Horus's Experiment works out well for him. He's probably going to try and get like a Super Rod. Now, I don't know how many he's running. He's got 9 cards left, and he hasn't hit it yet. And if he's not running Super Rod, he's got to be running Plar to pull those Torterras back, but he just doesn't have it. Yeah, there's the Super Rod. I'm predicting a Torterra and 2 Grass, double Torterra and a Venomoth. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Level Ball to pull up the Venomoth, I presume. Okay, that works out well. Let's see where he goes from here. He's probably going to knock out my Slaking and get some Torterras up. The question is, does he have the Grass Energy for it? And I'm not certain that he does. Ultimately, the Luxray is in an interesting spot because as long as we keep bosses ordering it, he's not as good due to the triple colorless. Yeah, the reversal energy. So the Torterra I want to take out is the one with the reversal energy, just because it poses more of a threat than the one with the singular grass. I mean, they both pose about the same level of threat, but if there's one I want to worry about, it's going to be that Torterra with the whatever. We're going to take out the Torterra. So we're going to pull up the Drapion V. Jet Energy's alright. I don't know if I want to waste it just yet. What I do want to do is shut down his hand. But I need to order. That's why I brought the Drapion up. We'll Primal Turbo. I think we put a Therapeutic on him. We'll Lucky and Gift. We'll V-Guard one of them with the Gift. I'm just making sure. Yeah, I do have Therapeutic. I don't need to jet anyone up. You know, I want to keep the energies flowing. But that's the one reason I don't run jet. I don't like jet energy because the force switch can be antagonizing. we're in a good position. Okay, yeah, we got our switch. We need one more prize card. He needs two. He would have to one-tap the Drapion V. Now, he has the potential to do it with Torterra, which is why I almost didn't want to bring up Drapion V. He's got it. He's got game. You know what? That was a misplay on my end. You know, if I should have seen it faster. I should have said, okay, he's gonna Evo Press with the Torterra if he gets the Grass Energy. But he could have boss's orders me up and get it regardless. So ultimately, you know, I didn't win the matchup. The Arceus Vstar does struggle in one small field, and that's with box decks. I called out a box deck because you have to take all 6 prize cards and to win. There's no VMAX, V-Stars, EX, stuff that give out 2 prize cards to cheat out bonus stuff. But you can counter that out. I'm sure there's some normal Pokemon that allows you to ping the bench, because pinging the bench would have been good in that situation. That's where you gotta deal with box decks. They're not giving out 2 prize cards, but they're a lot less healthy. So, yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode. A quick one. I just want to showcase Lugia as intended. We're running normal energies on normal Pokemon. And there's plenty of Pokemon that use normal energy that can work with the deck. We didn't hit some of our big guys, like Oranguru, Drapion V. I could probably run some items to help support. Ultimately, the nice thing about playing a TCG like this is that you get to make the deck. If you don't like what I'm doing, give me a suggestion. I'll try and improve. If you want to see a certain deck being played, give me a suggestion, and I will try my best to play that deck. I see a lot of items and Pokemon that could potentially work in this. But ultimately, I just wanted to bring back a deck that I haven't seen played in a while. The Lugia Vstar. I think that it doesn't hold up as well. It's not as oppressive as it once was. It's still good. And if it's got one thing going for it, normal types distribute weakness. Flying types are weak to electric and resistant to fighting, while normal types are weak to fighting, and I don't see many fighting type decks. So ultimately, it's alright. That's all I can say. It's alright. So, I want to say thank you everyone for watching, for those who did watch, and I hope to see you next time. Have a beautiful day.